how to build a Pandas data frame, then how to access data from the data frame, then how to slice. For example, if you need a range of number from a particular column to another, how to slice a data frame. Today we'll be talking about some Pandas built-in functions. We'll be talking about some built-in functions. Is this my built-in? Some built-in functions, then we'll be talking about how to read different files using Pandas, then how to combine files. Let's say you have different files, then how to combine them. So those are the things we'll be talking about today. One of the built-in function is the first thing where you want to we all know what the function is in Python. Can anyone remind me what the function is? The function of a of the function of function in Python. Hello. Hello.
Function is just like assigning our own particular target to. We can define a function like particular function sum is this, so we define it to our own taste how we want the output to be, just like a function.
Okay. Thank you. So there are some built-in functions in Python. One of them is this is the dot map function. Map is like lambda is a temporal function. For example, when we define a function, let's say you have a function sum. This is the noise coming from my side. So
Please,
let's
Elizabeth, I think the noise is coming from here.
I'm trying to mute the person, but I can't find the person on the list. Okay, thank you. So there is
Yeah.
a built-in function. This lambda is a temporal function in Python, unlike the normal function where we can use multiple of time. Lambda is just a temporal function. You just want to use it quick, and it disappears immediately. For example, we have a series, a panda series, pd.series 32 12 5. Then we want to make sure we add 10 10 10 to each of the numbers. So we have dot. We use this map function to map temporal function, which is known as lambda, to map it to our data set. So this is our data set is SER. Then lambda is a temporal function. Temporal function is in the sense that you just use it once and it is very short. We have lambda series. Then this is the series we have. Then what we want the function to do, we want the function to add 10 to each of the elements in the series. So let me run the code now. Don't forget, first thing you need to do is to import the function you'll be working with. Is to first import the function, the packages you'll be working with. So most time import pandas and numpy, the two of them will be imported together. So pd.series, then I have 34 12 5 and 5. So using my map function, I map 10, I add 10 to each of the value. So that's why I have 34 plus 10 44, 12 plus 10 22, 15, 5 plus 10 15, then the other 5 plus 10 15. So that's a temporal function. For example, if you want you can say you want each of the value to be multiplied by 2. Who is that, please? Oh, it's Elizabeth. So if you want each of the value to be multiplied by 2, just put times 2 here instead of plus 10 times 2. You have 34 times 2, 12 times 2, 15 times 2, 5 times 2. So that's that about that. Another thing we are going to be talking about today is how to read different files in Python. So we start with the most simple one, which is pd.read And if you are typing in Python, automatically when you type to some extent, let's say you type 3 letters or first 3 letters of any on any function you want to write, just press the tab key. It will see loading. Then you will see a lot of things you can actually a lot of actions you can perform on the package. For example, this PD, it can read from an HTML. HTML is the normal web version. It can read from a clipboard. Maybe you have something copied on your clipboard. It can read a CSV file. CSV file is just is a kind of mini Excel, but it's not Excel. Excel can be in form of a workbook. For example, in a single workbook, we can have. Let me show you the normal workbook we use for class. So this is our normal workbook, but so the simplest one is to read from Excel. Excel is a single sheet. CSV is a single sheet of an Excel file. .read CSV. Then after this, you input the parentheses. After the parentheses, you will put the name of the file you are reading. You will put it in quotation. For example, let's say my file is board.csv. You can see that. Let me try and run the code. So I don't have any file named board.csv. So what I will do now is to come here to download from what we have. Let me try and download our assignments. No. Okay, let me download the recording here. Okay. So I'm going to come here, download. Then I'm downloading as a you can see different options. I will download it as a CSV. Please, is my screen still visible, please? Then another thing I will do, I will download the whole workbook. So I come here, then download. Microsoft Excel. So this is the first one. This is a single sheet. The board is a single sheet, which is the recording sheet. Then I have the board as a workbook, which contains these 3 sheets: the attendance sheet, the recording sheet, and the assignment sheet. So we are going to read each one of them into our data frame. To make your work easy, it is better most of the time to make sure that the data you want to read is in the same directory. For example, let's say I have this is where I'm working. I will make sure that wherever this notebook is day 10, that is where I will have the file I want to read. With that, you can easily type board.csv directly into your read, and you are going to have your data. But since that's not what we have, we are going to copy the path to this file. We are going to copy it from here, then paste it into our read.csv file. We are copying this into our read.csv file. The same thing for the other one. Yes, copy path. Then you come here. We can see this is where my file is saved. Users Abdulwasi download board recording. This is the name of the file I downloaded. So let's see. Most time there will be issue with this. There are a lot of things to change. I can try to change. Okay, Unicode something. Then I can check the issue online. If you don't want to be encountering this kind of issue, the best thing is to make sure that the file you want to read is in the same directory as your Python file. Okay, someone said we should just put R in front of this. Let's try that. R. Make sure it will work. Let me check it very well. Then R, and we have backslash. Let's check that out if it will work. It is still not working. Then let's move the R to the front. Have this. The problem is a kind of common problem. Another thing you can do is just change the the backslash to forward slash. It might not work. So what I will do now to make it easy, I will just upload the file to my working directory. This is my working directory. I'm using Collab. So I will click on file here, then upload. This is the upload. This is the upload. Let me go back. Actually, I would like to make use of this. Okay, the double slash or single slash. We've tried this, is still not working. This can't decode byte truncated. Let's just delete everything. I'm trying to upload the two files now. So I have the two of them. Now I can read it directly from here. This is the first one, CSV. Copy path. Then I paste it here. You can see our attendance sheet. We have this is our index, then this is our day 1, day 2, then we have the link. This is the link, then we have the password, then we have the expire date for each of the recordings. So there are a lot of things we can do. This is the first one, how to read CSV. Then after that, we can just make this one head. Head mean we just need the first 5 data points. So that's how to read a single CSV file. Then another thing is to read Excel booklet, worksheet. So I copy this as well. Then instead of pd.read CSV, it will be pd.read. If you press tab, you will see other options. You can see Excel. So that's what you want to read. Then you paste. I'm going to paste the directory. This is the directory. If I try to run this code now, I'm going to get. Okay, it seems I have just a single booklet on my Excel file. I'm going to download that again.
Excuse me.
You said what?
Can you please comment each of the section and then in case of future reference so that we'll get it, because the first part you did, you put head, it might get confused when we are trying to recheck
Okay,
the.
the reason why I put the head is because when I did it for the first time, I it gives me all the data points, all
Yeah,
the rows in the but it's too
I
much. That's why I comment head.
I understand what you mean. What I'm trying to say is that you should comment each section instead of putting head in the first section, then paste the
Okay, read
command
seriously.
and so that we'll get to understand it much better when going through it.
A single CSV file. Then dot head is just to limit the entry to 5. Then for the Excel, we have this board.xls. The common issue with this is for example, I don't know, I tried to download the whole data, the whole workbook, but it is not downloading. I don't know. Fine. Let me try and download it once again. Okay, I think I've selected the 3 now. So let me try and download it now. Then I import it again. I upload it again. The new one. So I have the new one here. I copy the path. Then paste it here. So this is I believe I have the 3 worksheets here. Still giving me the same thing. Exports. So one thing you should take note of is when you are reading a workbook with many sheets, just try and state the sheet name. You see the parameter, there's one of the parameter, sheet name, then you put attendance. If you want to deal with the attendance only. Attendance. This is the attendance. Let's see if you have another, you have recording. And we see that the sheets, they are changing. Hello. Then the third one, assignment. Please, do we see the changes that are occurring to the workbook? As I put in different worksheets, I'm seeing different data sets. Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, we are
Hello?
with you. We are with you. Yes.
So that is how to read a single CSV file. Then when you are working with multiple sheets, for example, this particular board dots XLS it has about three sheets. So when I want to work on the assignment sheet, I put in the name. When I'm working on recording sheet, I put in the name. Then when I want to work on the what's the last one, the recording, then I put recording. So that's how to read Excel. I'm going to comment this out now. Let me just read the head of this as well, the first 5 rows. That's how to read Excel with multiple sheets. Another thing is if you can also read from a website, pd.read, then HTML underscore HTML. Then you put in the address. This is the website I want to read from. I want to read this table, this COVID table from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control. I want to read this table from this website. You can see the website. This is the website address. So I copy this and I come here and paste the link. So I paste it. Let me try to run the code now. You see, I have this. This is the state, IMO. Then I think this is for number of, you can see state affected, number of cases, then number of confirmed cases, then cases on admission. If I want to format it properly, I will just put the square bracket because there's only single table. There's only one table. There's only one table on this website. This is the only table on the website. So all I need to do is just to put the square bracket 0. The 0 means I will just need data from the first table. If I put 1, it will be looking for the second table, which does not exist. So I need to put 0. So you will see the proper format now. You can see it's looking more beautiful now. We have the states, the cases, and the number of cases, the number of discharged, and the number of deaths. So I will limit this to 5 as well. .end. Let me call this data COVID. COVID equals to. So this is the COVID data. Then another way we can read is to read from, pd.read. For those that are familiar with SQL, we can read from SQL. We can read from SQL, we can read query, SQL query, we can read SQL table, we can read table, we can read JSON file, we can read a lot of them, but mostly as a data scientist, you are going to be working with a single CSV file. Some other times, you can be working on Excel file with multiple sheets. If you are doing web scraping, you want to get data, you want to mine your data, you want to get your data by yourself, web scraping. So you need to know about how to read HTML. So most times, those are the things we'll be needing. For data engineering and cloud developer, you might need reading from SQL table, SQL data. So basically, that's how you can read data from different sources. That's how to read data from the different sources. Then another thing we will be discussing, we discussed about how to read files. Then let's just talk about how you can combine different files. Let's say I have my DF. Okay, there is a dictionary I created here. So we have this dictionary, a student dictionary that it has students 1, students 2, student 3. Then we want to convert it to a dictionary, to a data frame. we've talked about how you can create your own data frame from scratch. We discussed that last week. You can create your data frame from a dictionary. You can create it from a Pandas series. You can also create it from a NumPy series. And another thing you can import, which I've talked about today. So we'll be converting this to data frame. Data frame, then dict. So let's see how it looks. So we can see we have student 1, student 2, student 3. Really don't need this. So let's just start here, student. Then we put the name of the student as value as a list. Sunday. Ola. That's student. Then we need their department. Then a list as well. BCH, then MCB, then let's say you have law. Then what other things? Let's say GPA. 3.5, 5.0, and 2.4. So we are converting this to a data frame. So we can see our data frame now. We have students. I don't need to put SA. So we have students, we have department, then we have CGP. So I will name this DF1. DF1 means data frame 1 equals to this. So this is data frame 1. Then from this, let's say we have 0, 1, 2, 3. Then we have another. This can be this is a data frame. We can export it to an Excel file or CSV file. Let's say we now have another list of students. Then we want to make sure we combine to maybe when we are collecting the data, we were not aware that there are some other students in the school. So we got new information for new students. Now let's call it DF2. Then the name, we have Shola. Then Debbie. The department, CLI, and Greek, and basic computer. So let's say they have the same CGP. We call this data frame 2. So our DF2 will be DF2 equals to this. Then we check our data frame 2, DF2. So we have our second data frame with different sets of students. Then we want to combine the two. All we need to do is pd dots concat. Concat is we are concatenating, we are combining. Then you put in the data, the number of data frame you have, you put it as a list, df1, then df2. df1 is not defined, so we need to define it. So this one will be our df1. df1 equals to this. So this is our data frame 1. So after combining the two, I have Tunde, Kola, Bola, Shola, Abdullah, Debbie. You can see this. So one thing we can do by default, this student will have their ID. So I don't really need this 012 012. What I can do here is to reset. Let me call this all equals to df1 df2. So let me check what I have in it. So I have the student combined. When I want to reset this index, I will just type dot reset index. We change the index to normal from 0 to the last number. You can see we now have they are ordered now 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we are not in need of this index. This index column, we are not in need. So we say there is a parameter we can put in this reset index function. That's drop. Drop equals to true. Is it drop or drop index? I don't know. Okay, drop equals to true. That's when we drop the unwanted column. We can now rename it. We can now rename that as our data frame, since that's exactly what we need. So we can say all is now equals to all. Okay, you can say all is equals to df.reset. So that's combination along the row. Then we can also combine along the column. Combination along the column. Across the column rather. The first one we did is along the rows. This one will be across the column. Let's check what we have for our df1. So we have student, department, CGPA. Let's now say we have some other data for the students. For example, we have gender. Let me try and copy this. What we used there. So let's say we now have some other information about the students. So I have gender now. Male. Okay, let me not clear the name. I'm just putting a new gender. Then male. Male. Last one I have female. Then let's say, what other information do you think we can add to the dictionary, to the data frame of students? Is anyone following? Age, okay. 23, 40, 34, 54, then 19. So let's call this our addition. ADD, it's mean additional data. Then we check. Something is wrong. There should be a comma here. Must be of the same length, okay? So this is 4. I'm supposed to have 3. So we have our add. This is what we want to add to the previous data. This one has, okay, let me delete the department and GP so that it will be somewhat different from the first one. So we have students, age, and gender. We have this students column common to the two tables, but the first one we didn't have the gender and age. So we want to merge the two now. So what we do is df1 dot merge. Then what do you want to merge? You want to merge add, which is additional information. Let's see what we have. Do you see this? Before, in this additional information, we have gender, age. Then we have student. The student is common to both tables, student. Then for the first table, for the DF1, we have department and CGPA. Whereas in the second one, we don't have gender, and in the second one, we have gender and age. So by default, this merge is inner merge. We can check how. We can also see the parameter here, how it was merged. So we can change it, how equals to, by default, it is inner. Inner means is we check common. For example, we have students here, Kola, Bola. Okay, let me try and add some other thing. Okay, let me add one more student here, so that for the additional information, let's say we have 5 students. Olu. Then we have the gender as female as well. Then the age, 32. So let me run that. And I check our merge. You see that it only gives us the common column between the two of them. For example, Tolu is here, but we don't have Tolu in the first one. So it gives us the common columns, the common variable that belongs to the two of them. This is by default merging. Another way we can merge is outer. Outer, we combine all the data together anywhere. Maybe it is in one table or it is not there. It will combine everything together. So we have Tolu now. We don't have department for Tolu, that's why we have none. None means not a number. Then we don't have CGPA for Tolu, not a number. So that's why we have none. That's how you can combine data. By default, if you don't want problem or you believe that you don't really need, since you don't have the department and the CGPA of the student, you can't do much with the data. The best thing is to use inner. Inner is the default merge. Inner will combine common variable, common columns between the two data set and merge it together. So that's how to combine data across the column and along the row. So I think we've spent quite a lot of time. Tomorrow we'll be talking about attributes of Pandas attributes. I don't know if there is any question anyone wants to ask. This is a very good time to ask. No.
Somebody said in the chat room that you should repeat the tables of COVID that you imported from the website. You should try it again.
Okay. This is the COVID data.
We read.
This is the COVID data. This is the website. covid19.ncdc.gov.ng. This is the website. We can see from top to bottom. We have only just one table on the website. So when I put in the link, by default, I'm going to see an unstructured table. A table that is not structured. This is how it looks. You can see column, although it still looks somehow fine, but not as expected. We have state affected. This is a column, number of cases, that is confirmed cases, then case on admission. Then we have some others, which is number of discharge, number of death. So that's, but this one we are not being specific enough. To be specific enough, we just put square bracket and put 0. This one is telling us that we need the first table, the structure of the first table, structured table. That means the first table on the website. So we have it structured now. You can see this looks better than the first one. Then I limit my results to just the first 5 row data.ed. Ed will give me the first 5 rows. Another thing I can do is to put the specific numbers I want. I can put 20. I'm going to have the first 20. You can see from 1 to 19. The index 19 is pointing to data row 10. Then I can do tail as well. We'll talk about this in our next class. Is that clear now? Okay, someone said I should explain how I imported the downloaded CSV file. If you are working on your local data this way, even you don't need to put this /. You don't need to put it. You are going to just read it. Read the name of the file as it is. Just read it directly. But because I'm working online, that's why I first uploaded it to my collab. Then from there, I copied the path from this place, copied, then I paste it here. You make sure you put it in the quotation mark. Then copy it, then run the code. You can see I have it here. The same thing for the Excel. Excel has been uploaded. It has been uploaded as well. Then I know that the sheet. This is the sheet we are working on. It has multiple sheets. The attendance, the recording, then the assignment. So any sheet I want to work on, I will put in the name of the sheet I want to work on. So that's how to read CSV file, then how to read Excel file. CSV is just a single file in Excel, but the Excel can be a workbook with many sheets. Is that clear? Hello?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Yeah, free, sir.
Uh, for example, in case we have an Excel sheet that contain like, it probably have like 5 sheets on a single document, like on a
Yes.
single Excel file. So
Yes.
if we like kind of import this kind of Excel sheet, are we going to be having probably the first sheet, or we can always have everything?
We can have everything. For example, if I want to work on all the 3 sheets we have here, I can name this assignment. I name this assignment ASS. Then I run the code. Then next time I put record. Then I change this to recording. Then I save it into another variable, record. Then the third one as well, I name it as attendance. I name it attendance. Then I make sure I read the attendance sheet. So with that, I can work on the 3 sheets, on as many sheets as I have on the workbook.
Now I see. Thanks.
So it is not necessary to focus on one. If you know you will be working on more than one, just read. The only problem is you need to read each one of them separately into a variable.
Okay, I get that. Thanks.
You're welcome. Do you have any other question?